Okay, fam, welcome back. So today we're going to be going over the grayscale max profit Fibonacci retracement levels. So with that being said, let's get it. All right, so the first thing I want to go over, and again, this is a reiteration of yesterday. Tesla has gone absolutely stupid. As you guys can see, it's up a massive, absolutely eye-popping 12+% at this point. It does appear that they did beat earnings. I looked at it and well, you know what? Let's look at it again just to be sure because I don't want to misquote here. I'm pretty confident they beat earnings. There was some news about them moving the Bitcoin that they had. Guys, I'm not worried about that. They're probably just maybe moving it from a public to a private storage that, nobody knows about. Okay, so they had a slight miss on revenue. But again, considering that the Fed funds rate has been at all-time highs for eons at this point, minus 1.13%, not a big deal. Their EPS is up 21%. That's probably part of the reason why it's skyrocketing at this point. What matters is that it's up. And because Tesla is up, most likely we're going to see, again, I can't say for sure, but most likely this is probably going to help lift the markets up after this bloody red day we had tomorrow on Thursday by the time you guys see this. So let's go ahead and get into the grayscale trusts. I'll be completely honest with y'all. I was kind of expecting Tesla to actually dump. I'm surprised it pumped, but hey, that's good. We'll take whatever good news we can get, right? So we're about to get the golden cross, but that is on LTZM. But that's not the nature of this video. As you guys know, Q4 the halving year, especially around the time of the elections, which the election is always on a halving year. Just so y'all know. Usually Q4 is the most bullish time for Bitcoin and crypto. Again, LTCN is an oscillator to Bitcoin. So let's go ahead and take a look at these levels here. All right, so you got about 82, 130, 177, and 205 respectively. 205 would be, I think, roughly about a 15x. I mean, hey, if I got a 15x, I would not be upset about that. Do keep in mind there is downside risk here, okay? These things do not pay dividends. As far as I know, you are not able to do options on them. Let's actually check on that. I don't even know if you can buy it on here. I know you can buy BCHG on here. Let's take a look at that. No. Okay, so it does not appear that you can do options on these. So the best thing that you can hope to do is either DCA down or position trade these. Again, ideally positioning at the bear market bottom would always be best. But again, we're not probably going to get another bear market bottom for crypto until I would say about late 2020. Is it 2026? Yeah, roughly about late 2026 is the next time we should see another major bear market bottom for crypto. So the big ones here on LTCN, 815, 1340, 1830, and roughly about 2200. So 2200, that would put this thing at more than 100x, which is absolutely wild. Just so you guys know that these fib levels do work, I'm actually going to show you guys this in real time so you can see that from this retracement here to this low, okay, this is the same thing we do going forward in time here. Swing high to swing low. What happened? This thing actually hit all of these Fibonacci retracement levels and even shot above them for a brief period of time, but it kind of mostly traded around the 3.618, 4.236. So it's possible it could even go beyond 2200. Okay. Anything is possible here. It could go up to 5,000. It could go to 500 and stop there. It could go to 1,000. It could go to 1,200. We don't know what the top level is. We can only measure these as it continues to make newer highs and basically newer higher highs and higher lows. Once we get those, or we think they're in, then we can show you guys going forward in time what the potential next level would be. But we need these trusts to start smashing and breaking the previous swing high here on each of these in order for us to give you guys new levels. All right, so BCHG, we're going to measure this from what appears to be the swing high to the swing low. We know this is the swing high. We assume this is the swing low. And again, this is a basic Fibonacci level retracements, nothing fancy about it. So 38, 56, 78, and roughly about $90. So $90 would, of course, put this over a 10x. I think it's like a 12, 13x, which is still pretty damn good. I mean, a lot of people in the crypto space, in native crypto, would consider a 20x to be really good. So a 10 to 15x ain't bad. All right, so $100, 150, I'd say about 155, 215, and 253 respectively. So you could be looking at as high as maybe somewhere around a 35x on this one. Again, it could go much higher. As you guys saw with LTCN, it did actually overshoot in the last cycle, the 4.236. So it's possible it could go even higher than the top fib level. You could be looking at maybe as much as a 40x. Depends on how explosive this crypto bull run is going to be and how much hype gets behind the projects, and how much Bitcoin goes up based on the spot ETFs and all that jazz. Okay, so 16, 2360, 3180, and 3660 for HSEN. Again, 36 over 4 is a 9x, so that's not bad. So HSEN here, we'll measure this one. This one is going to be based on the price data that we have. Again, a lot of these trusts did come out kind of towards the end of the bull run last cycle, so I don't think 30 is actually the true peak here for HSEN. If it would have been out earlier in 2021, and for HSEN, I think the price would have actually been higher than 30, but we don't know because we can't see that, right? So 50, 79, about 108.5 and 125. So you could be looking at as much as a 30x on this one from the current prices. I mean, even if you only made out with a 5 to 10x, in my opinion, just my opinion, of course, you'd be making out like a bandit because think about it for a second. A 10x is 1,000% return. Okay, the S&P does a 10% return per year on average. You would have to make 100 years of returns if you live that long in the S&P 500 to make a 10x return on your money. Okay, whereas in this one, you can do it in a matter of months if you time it right. Again, and theoretically, you would have to get in. I would say the best timing on that to get in with the shortest amount of time frame to wait would probably be somewhere around Q3 of the halving year. Might be your best bet. If you're looking for altcoins, maybe Q4 of the halving year. If you don't really want to wait for years on end, everybody has their kind of own way of doing things. So ETCG 2780, 3930, 5270, and 60 respectively. Okay, so we do actually have a swing high for the previous bull market top here, which was, I mean, you can literally see it's a straight line up. That's clearly a blow off top. I don't think you can get any more obvious than that. 154, 244, 336, and we'll say 395 respectively. So pretty massive upside here. ETH actually got to zoom in here a little bit so I can see where that cup and handle is. All right, so levels as of right now, 46, 64, 82, and roughly about 93 respectively. So that's not bad, roughly about a 4x, right? So the previous all-time high, which again is the cup and handle target pattern, which is kind of ironic when you think about it, 64, 95, 124, and 140 respectively. So as much as 7x, I would say that's realistic because again, our price target for Ethereum is somewhere between 10 to 15,000. If Ethereum does a 7x from the current price that it's at right now, it would be a little bit above kind of our estimate, so about 17,500. Okay, so GBAT. All right, this one, as of right now, we're looking at 50, 78, 105, and 123 respectively. 123 is, I mean, that's very impressive. That's, what is that, a 60x? And again, obviously, the lower you get these prices or the lower you get your average cost basis, when it does eventually rip, that gives you more multiples on your money. So 50, 75, 102. Okay, I feel like I just did this one. Yeah. Okay, so there's only one. Yeah, I'm forgetting here that we do the new all-time highs in the current cycle differently. Okay, so PhilG, We're again assuming that the swing low happened back here in August of 2024, which that dump was pretty crazy. So I'd say likely that probably is going to be the bottom, especially for crypto. Okay, 625, 1005, 1386, and then 1620 respectively. So this one could easily do like a 20, 30x. I don't see any reason why that couldn't happen, maybe even more. GLIV. This one's currently sitting at support, so y'all can see it's kind of been bobbing around there for a while. Do understand there's always a chance it could go lower, but usually these things don't go back to their bear market lows until the following bear market. And so in some cases with altcoins, it does happen, but more often than not, these projects will not go back to their all-time lows, especially if they have momentum until the following bear market. So 124, 193, 255, and roughly about 300 respectively. So this one could probably do maybe a 25x. Again, it could be more, it could be less. We'll just have to wait and see. G-Link, assuming that this is our low right here, which it could be. I mean, there's two green candles that look like that, suggesting potentially a double bottom. 340, 540, 718, and 8. I'd say about 840 respectively. So maybe about a 15x. I would say that's probably about on point for something like Chainlink. All right, GSOL. Again, swing high to swing low because the all-time highs have already formed on the current cycle that we're on. So 780, 1080, 1400, and roughly about 1600 respectively. So a little bit more than a 4x. A lot of people estimate that where is Solana? A lot of people estimate that Solana can actually go to $1,000. I would say that's definitely possible because when you think about it, Ethereum back during 2017, they're trying to compare it to Ethereum, and it makes sense. Ethereum back during 2017 went from like a few bucks to, I think it was $1,400 at the all-time highs. If we actually go back here on Solana, and again, this is another part of the reason why I think Solana is not at all-time highs. Of course, we have this bull flag descending triangle, same thing as Bitcoin, cup and handle. It's all very bullish, right? Another indication we're likely not at the lows. I'm pretty sure Solana was lower than $16. I may have to look on a different chart for this, but it went from 16 to 257, right? So if kind of the thinking here is if people think that Ethereum is going to track Bitcoin in terms of price and Solana will track Ethereum. So in 2017, Bitcoin went from 1,000 to 20,000. So theoretically, maybe this cycle, Ethereum could go from 1,000, which was the actual bear market low for that particular project, or roughly about there. On this last cycle, you can see it was at $900 during June of 2022. So if it repeats Bitcoin's 2017 bull run, it would go from 1,000 to 20,000, and then Solana could go from whatever it was all the way up to $1,000, like Ethereum did back in 2017, which I would have to show you back here. It did top out somewhere around $1,400. It's possible. Anything could happen here. If that does happen, then GSOL could definitely do more than a 4x the current all-time high for that project. Okay, GXLM. I'm going to go ahead and fly through these real quick. Okay, so you got 105, 160, 213, and about 245. And in terms of the big one here, again, there's not a whole lot of price action from the last bull run, so it could possibly outshoot this 4.236. 153, 235, roughly about 320 and 380 respectively. So you're looking at least a 20x on this. All right, Meta. This one's already at all-time highs, which tells me likely if it is at all-time highs this cycle, it's probably going to make another all-time high. That would be my guess. So that's usually how markets work. Usually when they go to all-time highs, they end up making new all-time highs. Okay, so 116, 175, 237, and 288 respectively. So at least a 20, maybe 25x on this one. And again, crypto is on 4-year cycles, but you got to understand when I say it can make new all-time highs, we're, according to the timeline of crypto, we're not actually at the end of the bull run yet. So that's not supposed to happen until the end of next year. So there is still at least 12 months to make new all-time highs for these. Plus, we have also not seen a real true alt season yet. Okay, so Zcash, last but not least, we're looking at roughly about 15, 23, roughly about 30 and 34 respectively. Now, I'm going to say something way off the cuff that a lot of you are not going to expect, but if at any point the Federal Reserve ever starts becoming a backstop for the crypto markets like they have been for the stock market for over 100 years at this point, these crypto cycles at that point could change to where they would more mirror closely, more so the stock market than the current 4-year cycles. But again, the Federal Reserve would have to be willing to buy or basically add assets from crypto to its balance sheet in order to do that. I don't know that they're going to do that. Again, the Federal Reserve is it's a cash system, essentially is what it is. It's a reserve bank for the government and for the other banks and whatnot. But it's just some food for thought. I don't think anybody in the crypto space has ever mentioned this, but it's a possibility. Okay. So 65, 100, and 140 and 162 respectively. So potentially a 40x on this one. All right. So hope you all enjoyed this content. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.